Hi, I'm Melody Bird, and today we're going to be going over embellishing a 1-4-6-5 chord progression in the key of C. That's C major, F major, A minor, and G major. And it's going to go like this. Let's take a closer look. Okay, here we are, and like I said, we're in the key of C, and we have C chords, F chords, A minor chords, and G chords. In this particular chord progression, I did a C, an F, another F, A minor, and a G. That just sounded good with the melody I was working with. So we're embellishing though. So I went up to the C chord that is up here. We have this C shape, or a C chord, using the G shape. Okay, I'm a big fan of the caged system. If you slide this all the way up to the 8th fret, you get a C. This chord's challenging to make. You can get away with just using the bottom part of it. Okay. And it's driven by the melody. The melody we have was... Okay. And so where this is coming from is from the C major scale. We have... We also have this shape up here. Which we use more a little later. All right, so this is our melody. You know, and inside this C shape, we can use any of those scales, or scale notes. This one, we just happened to use this one. And where I wanted to go next was an F. We have an F tone right here, the 3rd. And I'm using an F major 7 chord here. And again, this is inside of this scale shape. Okay. And this melody, it just goes... So I used a little chromatic line there. This note isn't really inside of our diatonic C major scale, but in the right context, you can throw kind of whatever you want in there. Chromatic notes especially work well in, or accidental notes especially work well in a chromatic sense where you're walking up to something. Or walking down, you know. So it's just a passing note. Now up here in this F chord, I was kind of going back and forth. I'm keeping the melody note here, but I'm changing the harmony. It was going... What I'm doing there is, you know, these two notes are staying there, but I am moving from this major 7th down to the 6th. And this one is moving from the root to the 5th. the root to the fifth, just like the root to the fifth, the root to the fifth. So we have okay, and the little picking pattern is kind of interesting here. We're getting the you hit this harmony before you go back to the bass over here. Okay. So, and then we're going to A minor. Now this A minor is an A minor 7, if we get this note in there with it. And this is a G. And again, this is part of this scale. So really, instead of this A minor, we get all these notes. We get okay, and this was our melody. Okay. More chromatic lines. This would be our diatonic line. But there's a good movement happening there. We might as well just da, 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 walk right up to it. But now this note here is where we land on our G chord. This G chord, this is our 5th chord before we go back to a C chord, and so we get to create some tension here. You know, the 5 to the 1 is where you get to kind of do whatever you want to create some tension so that you can get back and resolve it to some kind of C chord. Okay. Now this particular G chord is augmented, meaning that it has a sharp 5. Here's our root, here's our 3rd, here's our sharp 5. Normally the 5 would be right here. It's kind of like our C shape of our caged system. So our 5 though can just move up 1 more and we get, so it looks very similar to a C. We're just barring right here. And our melody note is still here. Okay. And we still get these notes in here. Okay, now here's our C. Again, just coming off of this G shape of the C. Also in this area, we get the pentatonic scale. So when we're hitting here, we can use all that. Little bluesy note. Okay. Then we get our F. My pinky's on the F right now. And this is again our C shape of the F chord. Using the cage system. And if we let go of these guys, excuse me, if we let go of these guys, we get an F major 9. So basically this root turns into a natural 7, our 3rd turns into a 2. Okay, and then we got our 5th down here so we can get something like very similar to so we had our G, then it's time for our A minor. We can just hit the open A. We can do some double stops. In the key of C, or in A minor, we get all these double stops to work with. And I like to think about where I want to go. We were up here, we went down, and now we're hitting this open A down here, and I wanted to go down this way. So the ones I came up with was we start here, and then we do a 1, 2, 3 into our G. And this one here, again, it's chromatic line, chromatic double stop now. So we're going, and it's convenient because this one was already here, and so is this one. It wasn't diagonal. It was a very easy chromatic line to go through. So we have, we hit this one first, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then here's our 1 here. So we're kind of anticipating the next chord, which is the G. So, and now this G right here, it's a G7. We have our root. I was skipping over the 5th string. Here's our dominant 7. Here's a G. Here's our D. And this one, so it's a root, and then this one up here is a 5th. So it's just, we got roots, 5ths, and our dominant 7 there, no 3rd. But we can hit this open E over here. That makes us a G13. And this E in particular works really well because it's going back into the C, which has an E in it as its 3rd. So we get this. And that's just a little extra thing. We got an F with a G in the bass. It's kind of like a 4-to-1 cadence and a 5-to-1 cadence kind of combined together. Okay, that wraps up for today. I hope you enjoyed that. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe, and I hope to see you again next time. Okay, take care.